is that I was working yesterday before the show, and after the show, two guys in my band that were afraid to tell me before the show showed me a picture of them with Jimmy Page because they had lunch right next to him.
What?
And I missed it. So
yesterday
they were right to not show me before the show.
Oh my goodness.
Because I wouldn't have gone on.
When you say you're working before the show, what does that mean?
Just doing
Stuff
things
like
like
this.
radio and TV and all the things that
all the stuff that goes with
I'm
it.
supposed to do. Yeah.
So where'd you keep your Grammys, big boy?
I usually wear them around my neck, so this is just an off day. I keep them in a little room in my house. They're not.
Come on, where are they exactly?
They really are on a mantle in my house.
Yeah. What is it like to win a? First of all, it's like to be nominated for a Grammy, which is amazing.
The real thrill is performing at the Grammys.
Wow.
That really, I tell people when we performed Drops of Jupiter years ago, in the front row were U2.
Yeah.
And we performed Drops of Jupiter, and after we performed, Bono gave us a thumbs up. And I told everybody, you thought it was a thumbs up, but basically he was saying, you can have one of the Grammys you're up for. We're going to take the other 4. And that's what happened.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
And what do you do the night after you, or after the Grammy show when you win one? How do you celebrate?
Well, I didn't drink champagne or wine back then. Yeah. Now I do.
Oh, do you?
So I didn't celebrate properly.
You've gone the old switcheroo. You've gone the other way around.
Yeah, I went the other way around.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I spent 17 years not drinking, and I realized, after a while, I was successful in life, but I wasn't able to ever enjoy it. Uh-huh. And I wasn't hanging out with human beings. I was very secluded. And when I have a glass of wine, I open up and get in a room with people, and I don't go to jail or anything. I just enjoy it. Not to say that you should do that, but it just opened me up.
When did you have your first drink? Most recently, then?
It was about 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you remember where you were and what happened?
Well, we were making wine for a charity in San Francisco.
That's handy.
And my wife was like, you should probably taste it. And I was like, okay, but I don't know where this is going to go. If you're prepared for that. And so far, so good. It's
good
fine.
for you. Good for you. We had Mark Knopfler on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
Sitting in that very chair because he's got a new album out. It's really good.
His story is absolutely thrilling because he is the oldest success story in the history of music. I think when Mark was successful, he was probably late 30s.
28.
Oh, 28. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, then I'm wrong because
nevertheless.
Yeah, nevertheless. 28 is ancient and getting started.
You're right. And I think probably perceptively you think it was older, but it's sort of the same in rock and roll years. Yeah. Which is what I was going to speak to. In as much as he started in a pub band, as you sort of did a covers band, didn't you?
Yeah.
Not a dissimilar trajectory.
Sure. Well, I think my success started when I was 28 too. We had a song in the United States called "Meet Virginia" that did well, and then I was 30 when "Drops of Jupiter" came out. So wow. I mean, maybe Mark and I have more in common than I thought.
Yeah, and it's amazing because he was in a pub band. He describes his first band as pub rock. Right?
Pub rock.
Yeah, and it was in 1977. And if you think about what was happening then, it was punk rock.
Yeah,
so to celebrate and to enjoy being in a pub band in the middle of punk rock was probably the most punk thing you could do.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do know what you mean. That's a really good point. Punk rock is a term that you can use for so many things that are outside of music. You know, it's very punk rock.
I was listening to a podcast yesterday with a punk rock. I can't remember his name. I could find out in a second. And he is a man of faith, and he's always been a man of faith. And when in his punk rock days, and it's proper punk as well, they were saying, you can't do that. You can't evangelize because you're punk. He said, but punk means you don't follow the rules.
Right.
You're saying there are rules to punk. That's so unpunk.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like kindness is punk rock.
Of course it is. It's the most punk
it's the thing
ever.
that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
You, talking podcasts, you were really early to the world of podcasting, weren't you?
It was exhausting. The reason I started a podcast is we did festivals here in Europe and Australia and everything.
Yeah.
And I'd see the Black Crowes and the Counting Crows and all these bands, and no one would ever talk to each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's disappointing.
And sad.
And sad.
Yeah.
Because we're all insecure. It's like, it's not anyone's fault. It's no one's a bad person. We're just all struggling in our own little circle of, dislike for ourselves. And I was like, there's one thing that could break through if they had a reason to talk to me. So I started a podcast and met a lot of people and did a lot of podcasts and realized I think I'd rather not have talked to most of them.
Yeah, so interesting.
No, but that's not true. But it just got to be too much away from music.
No, I agree.
It was like having your job, which is a full-time job, and trying to make music.
Well, we did a podcast. So we used to do a long-form podcast for 2 or 3 hours, and we used to record it on a Thursday after the show. Yeah. And it was great, and it was so much fun, but it began to take away from this.
Sure.
Keep the main thing the main thing.
Well, now there's so many podcasts, and I think comedians are the most successful with it because they're interesting and funny, and they can write the comedy, and also they can get great guests. Yeah. That's hard to do.
But yours was called the Patcast, wasn't it?
That's right. Yep.
That's so cool, man. Who did you have on? People we would know? I should listen to it. It's still there, isn't it? Still there.
Yeah, it's still there. Tons of musicians and actors. And have you ever heard of a book called The Perks of Being a Wallflower? It was a movie and a book.
No, but I want to.
And he was an author. He's become a good friend of mine because of that podcast. And there are a lot of things like that.
All right, so Vassa's here. Vassa's supposed to be the sports guy on the show, but he doesn't know anything about sport. He used to.
You don't even like sports?
No, he does like sport. He likes sport, but now I watch more sport than him. He pretends not to watch more sport than me, but I see him watching the clips when I come in, trying to catch up.
I was watching cricket yesterday. It's a very interesting, confusing sport for me because the score and then the baby number next to it, I don't understand what all that is.
So it's very confusing.
Yeah.
And we're English.
Yeah. By the way, it goes on for 5 days. A match goes on for 5 days.
You're not kidding.
No, genuinely. A match could go on for 5 days. Everyone gets 2 chances.
Wow.
You come in, you have a little bat.
How many
the runs.
people are on each team?
11.
Okay.
And then they come in, and they get all the chances to score the runs unless they get out, which is sort of similar to baseball, right? But then they all get another chance.
So you think baseball
right after their first chance? Oh, okay.
So these are test matches. They take 5 days, but there are 5 sets of 5 days.
Oh,
25 days.
How many teams are there? Endless.
Yeah, endless. But you think, I've been to baseball. I used to live in Los Angeles, and I used to go and watch the Dodgers. Would I go to Dodger Stadium, wouldn't I?
LA Dodgers, yeah.
And people think in America, that takes a while. Nothing. You got nothing on cricket, mate. Nothing.
Really? Yeah. Is there big dough in it? Do these players make an enormous amount of money?
It's getting bigger.
Yeah. Not compared to. So last weekend was the NFL draft, which is where the college players, the best university players of American football.
He knows this.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm telling other people.
Oh, sorry, you're looking at Pat.
Yeah.
He's American.
Pat, the best college players.
It did look like that. I'm sorry.
For the biggest NFL teams.
Yes,
and this is massive box office in America. And the guy that got signed first, he was a quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
Yep.
He's getting paid literally all the... So nothing compared to that. But they're...
Don't footballers here make an enormous amount of money?
Shed loads.
Yeah.
There's another way of saying that. Shed loads.
Right.
Cricketers make most in India.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
There's the IPL, there's the Indian Premier League. Pat, it's great to see you, man. So this is Whistle Stop. You think you don't know where you are now. You're going to wake up in Brussels tomorrow.
I'm going to wake up in Brussels.
Good luck with all this.
Yeah.
Do you? It is true, isn't it? Because I went on tour.
I'm actually going to golf today.
Are you?
I'm going to go to a place called Beaverbrook. I made a new friend through a friend of mine in America.
Yes.
And I'm very excited. It's about 50 minutes from London. I've never been there, and I'm excited.
It sounds really nice. Yeah, I'm very into golf.
But we've never heard people.
Are you good? What do you play off?
Well, I keep about a 7 handicap.
Hang on a minute. Just back the truck up. There's no such thing as about a 7 handicap. What's your handicap, sir?
It's 6.7.
6.7.
Yeah.
See, that's a proper answer.
What are you?
4.
A 4? You're a 4. Yeah. You went through all of that to tell me you're better.
I made it up. I'm not really a 4. But when anybody actually go really low, because he just stops them in their tracks. We did this thing. We ran the marathon a couple of weeks ago, the London Marathon. And I had to do this Q&A on the Monday after the show for some bigwigs that were here. And then the guy introducing me, who's one of my bosses, said, and here comes Chris. He was up at 4 o'clock today and he's done the breakfast show and he's made time to talk to us today and he wants to give you the benefit of his wisdom. And bear in mind, he also ran the London Marathon yesterday. Yay!
That's incredible, yeah.
So then we sit down and he says, let's just start with questions. Let's start with questions. So somebody shoots their hand and says, congratulations on the marathon. What was your time?
Right.
And without missing me, I said 2 hours 43.
Wow. Is that for real?
No, of course not. You always go really low. It was 4.5 hours.
You know, I don't lie all the time, but I lie a lot.
Yeah.
And you sound like my kind of guy.
Fun, man. What's wrong with that? How many albums you sold? Hundreds of
700 million.
Hundreds of millions. We just don't like to talk about it.
Yeah, we were on the morning show yesterday here on TV, and they said, you have billions of streams.
Yeah.
And I said, and hundreds of pounds.
Because that's the way it is.
Well, you know.
Oh, so Brussels, 4 dates in Europe and then back to the US?
Yep. Yeah, we head back to the US and have some private events, and then we start a summer tour in the US with REO Speedwagon.
Oh, my God. One of my favorite bands of all time.
They're incredible.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from another that you've been messing around.
Yep.
Take another little. Oh, wow. You train an REO Speedwagon?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I can go to that gig. I'd explode with joy.
It's going to be 3 hours of like music that you've known for 45 years.
I love both those bands. You're in one.
Thanks.
You are.
I'm in one. Yeah.
Do you know how well do you know the REO Speedwagon guys?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you known those guys for?
I've known Kevin Cronin, the lead singer, for about 5 years. I met him during the COVID period, where we did a private event together, and we just got on real well.
That's the second time you've mentioned the phrase private event. I like the sound of the private events.
Yeah, they sound real glamorous. One time we went to France, right in Bordeaux, and we played on a ship. It was pretty interesting.
Private events. Yes,
private
please.
Events rule. Yeah.
And REO Speedwagon, gorgeous, the same flavour of joy as Train, but entirely different music.
Yeah.
Big power anthems, power ballads, rolling songs, wars of sound.
Yeah, they're
they big semi-acoustic.
They had one of the biggest albums of all time and didn't win a Grammy. They've never won a Grammy.
Do they know about
yours? And they're
yours?
Not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Do they know about
Both
yours?
Shame.
Do they know about your Grammys?
They know about mine.
Does
yeah.
that
well, I wear them around my neck, so.
Pat, we're out of time, but it's great. I know you're tired. Thanks for coming.
Oh, thank you guys. It was my pleasure to be here.
And you're going to golf later. It's going to be great, man.
I just had a look. Looks lovely. Very historic. It's Surrey Hills.
Surrey Hills.
Yeah. This hotel's got a lovely spa if you need a,
I'll need
after.
it.
You're going to go 9 or 18 holes?
We'll do 18.
You're going to do full 18?
Yeah.
There's a golf course in Scotland called Shiskin Golf Course, which is 12 holes.
Oh, nice.
And it's been 12 holes for over 100
that's kind of the perfect amount of golf.
The perfect amount of golf.
It really is.
18 is too long.
It's
even too long for people who are really good at it.
Yeah.
It's too
long.
long.
And then these guys, you think of cricket 5 days. These guys have to show up in golf 4 straight days. Yeah. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
And it's not really a team game, is it? If they're doing well, they have their team around them, but it can be a lonely old thing, that golf thing.
Yeah.
Pat, what else is on the horizon? Come on, give some. I mean, we're over time, but it's great to talk to you.
Well, we have the new single, Yellow Dress.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that from now on, people will wear yellow dresses. We saw a few long yellow dresses at the gig last night. That was pretty exciting.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
Yeah.
We do a cruise every other year. There are a lot of UK people that cruise with us. And it is absolutely bananas.
This is great,
we dress up every day for a different theme. And
how do we get on the train cruise?
It's called Sail Across the Sun, which is a lyric from Drops of Jupiter.
Yeah.
And usually we leave from Miami. We go to Cayman Islands or Mexico or the Bahamas or wherever, and then head back.
What a laugh.
And that starts February of 2025.
We have noticed as artists mature, right, and we look at their tour dates, they tend to take August off. Because they can, because they're organised. Think family time. It's family time. When you're younger, you don't care about family. You don't have family. You don't know if you've got family. You may have several families around the world. You're just not aware of them yet. Their lawyers haven't been in contact. But you take August off. Are you playing through August on your? Because you start in July your North American tour.
We start in July and go through August into September. But it always changes every summer. Sometimes we'll start in May and go through July.
No, I'm just being selfish here because we're in Los Angeles as a family for 28 days.
Well, please come.
From July 21st.
Well, we're going to play the Forum in Los Angeles, which is a really incredible place. Please be my guest.
What date are you playing?
I can tell you, but it'll take me a few minutes to look it up.
It is it's September. Oh, no, the 9th of
August.
The 9th of August.
I'm there. Is that cool?
That would be.
Is that a deal?
I would love that. Can I say brilliant? Am I allowed as an American?
Yeah, you can say it as
brilliant.
Do you want to say it in a Glaswegian accent? So you change the double L to a W.
Oh, okay.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. That's what I'll say from now on.
That is brilliant, Pat.
That's brilliant.
Brand new. It's brilliant. All right.
That's a great Scottish accent, man. That's hard to do.
And you're Irish heritage, of course.
Yeah, my family was from Galway.
And your dad was the muso in the family?
He was a drummer in the army.
Wow.
And he... Remember a song called Take 5?
Amazing song.
So when I was about 5 years old, he said, come in here and see if you can keep a beat. Because it goes, and it flips. And I was able to do it. And he was like, that's weird. So I think that's when it started.
That's somebody in the All-Stars, wasn't it? Take 5?
I'm not sure.
Oh, what a song. Great to see you, Pat.
Great to see you
guys.
Great to
talk to you,
Thanks
man.
for having us.
Last time we talked was on the phone, this time in person. Let's make it a hat trick next time you're around. A Patrick.
Well, I'll see you. We'll make it a Patrick, and I'll see you in Los Angeles.
Great. Okay. As long as you get me in. After that, you can pretend not to know me. Just get me in the door.
Oh, I plan on it.
Virgin Radio.